Did you know your Wi-Fi encryption could be the weakest link in your network security? From outdated WEP to advanced WPA3, not all encryption methods are created equal. In this video, I'll break down the evolution of wireless encryption, TKIP, CCMP, and GCMP, and show you why WPA3 is the gold standard for securing your network. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or a network admin, this is your guide to locking down your Wi-Fi. Ready to upgrade your security? Let's dive in. Wireless encryption methods. Originally, the 802.11 standard only supported one method for securing wireless data: WPA. We have seen previously that WPA is no longer suitable for today's security and that it has many weaknesses. We will therefore see other options to encrypt data and protect it when it circulates freely in the air. The Temporal Key Integrity Protocol, TKIP, was developed for replace the WPA, which had become very vulnerable. This protocol adds several security features that we will detail right away. The MIC, Message Integrity Check, is a very efficient algorithm, which makes it possible to hash each frame while verifying the entire message. This prevents data tampering. The timestamp is a timestamp added in the MIC to prevent attacks that would attempt to reread or reuse Ethernet frames. The MAC address of the sender is included in the MIC, which gives proof, allowing to justify the source of the frame. TKIP sequence counter is a function that provides a record of frames sent by a single MAC address, which again prevents frame replay attacks. It also has a key mixing algorithm, which will calculate a 128-bit WEP key unique for each frame. Longer initialization vector, IV, and it has a vector initialization feature, which allows it to double its value compared to the WEP, which means that it goes from 24 to 48 bits. This makes it virtually impossible to exhaust all WEP keys. To summarize quickly, compared to WEP, TKIP has 4 additional algorithms. A message integrity code, often referred to as MICL, the MIC, Message Integrity Code, ensures that the message has not been modified. A counter for initialization vectors, which strongly resembles the sequence number of packets in TCP. A periodic generation of a new temporary key, which is itself derived from the master key. And a subkey generation to encrypt a packet, key mixing, from the temporary key and an initialization vector. The TKIP protocol has become a relatively secure security method, saving time until the 802.11i standard can be revised. Because there are also attacks against this protocol, this is why it is advisable to avoid it if a more secure method is available. In fact, TKIP was even deprecated in the 802.11 standard with the 2012 amendment. We will now move on to the CCMP protocol, the counterbar CBC-MAC protocol, which is considered to be safer than TKIP. The CCMP consists of 2 algorithms: an AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard, encryption counter, and a cipher block chaining message authentication code, CBC-MAC, used to verify its integrity. Message Integrity Check, MIC. The Advanced Encryption Standard, AES, is the algorithm that is used by the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, and even by the U.S. government as well. It's a standard that is also widely used around the world. Today, it is the most secure encryption method. The counter.cbc-MAC protocol, CCMP mechanism, on which the Advanced Encryption Standard, AES, is based, is imposed on the WPA2 standard, which we will detail just after the GCMP protocol. The GCMP Galois Counter Mode Protocol is a very robust cipher suite that is even more secure and efficient than the CCMP. It consists of two algorithms: widespread AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard, Encryption, and a message authentication code, Galois. Message authentication code, GMAC, that verifies its completeness, message integrity code, MIC. The GCMP is used on the WPA3 standard, which we will describe right away in the next section. We will now look at different mechanisms for securing Wi-Fi. When setting up a Wi-Fi hotspot, you would like to use the best security as much as possible. But with all the authentication methods we've just seen, combined with all the encryption algorithms, we tend to get lost. This is where the Wi-Fi Alliance comes in, which you can find on the website, http://gwatchwifi.org. This is a non-profit association of the wireless industry that has found simple ways to see plus clearly, thanks to its WPA Wi-Fi Protected Access certifications. To date, there are 3 different versions: WPA, WPA2, and WPA3. WPA was intended as a solution to replace BUEP until the 802.11i standard is completed. As for its successor, WPA2, it includes all the mandatory elements of the 802.11i standard, which is certified by the Wi-Fi Alliance. The WPA2 standard requires support for the CCMP, the Counter-Rock CBC-MAC protocol mechanism, on which the widely used AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard, Encryption, is based. WPA2 was therefore designed to replace WPA, and it was in 2018 that the Wi-Fi Alliance introduced version 3, WPA3, which is the substitute for the 2 because it adds better security mechanisms. WPA3 offers strong encryption based on AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard, Encryption, coupled with the GCMP Galois Counter Mode Protocol. It also uses the Protected Management Frames, PMF, protocol to secure frames between access points and clients to prevent malicious activity that could spoof or tamper the operation of a BSS, basic service set. In the table, you can see the main differences between the 3 versions of WPA. Each version above replaces the previous one. This means that it is preferable to use the highest version when possible. We will finish by looking at the table of comparisons of the 3 versions of WPA. It is noted that it supports 2 client authentication modes: the pre-shared key PSK, or the 802.1x standard. The difference between the 2 is mainly on a scale of deployment. These 2 modes are found under 2 different names: the personal mode for the shared key, and enterprise mode for 802.1x. Pre-shared keys are designed for personal or small business networks, as there is no need to use an authentication server. That is, each piece of equipment in the wireless network authenticates itself to the access point using the same 256-bit encoded key. And the 802.1x standard is designed for corporate networks because it requires you to install a radius authentication server. This is more complicated to set up, but on the other hand, it offers better security.